Well, there we go, everybody. A bit of music to start you off and get the evening working, and we will move on from that slide in a minute when I find the button. There we go. We are finally into the 2020 year and achieving a few levels. We had a wonderful day at Sumner Park.
I'm going to go and put on this thing because it's a bigger sound.
Trying to mute people. Kate, can you mute? There we go. Thank you. We're trying to make sure that everybody can hear and we don't have too many distractions. We will ensure that we can make all of this work. We had a fantastic day at the Centenary Tavern yesterday, and without any doubt, hearing testimonial from Miller was amazing. To see somebody who started with absolutely zero and is now paying for international trips, the family's secure, all of that's happened in just a few months. And I have to say it was confronting because I had no concept that she came from that background. She does a wonderful job of presenting herself professionally, and wow, all I can say. So we will get her on one of these webinars and interview her again so that we can use that in the future as a story. But it was amazing. And she's such a wonderful young lady with a young family. Her husband is a very lucky man. So let's get started and get into some of this information for tonight. There has been a whole lot of information around the world that leads people to the wrong outcome. Wow, that internet is amazingly bad. But we have to use a hotspot on the phone because we had a big storm up here where we are, and whilst we have NBN connectivity, it's not working. So we're hotspotting on the phone. So we'll just have to deal with the internet as it is and go from there. So let's get in amongst this. This is our Brains Trust. You'll see some people added there. This is an organisation that's run by its members. So these are the people that stand up and do stuff on a regular basis. Mr. Duck, however, he has opted out and gone to Adelaide for the weekend, and he's swanning about at one of our sponsors. He's at Enzo's tonight as we speak. And I know that if he's at Enzo's, Enzo and his wife will be looking after him, and he will be dining with some outstanding food and possibly drinking a few limoncellos. I've been there myself, and I have to tell you that I was a little bit wobbly when I left the restaurant at about midnight 30 in the morning. Great night. I cannot recommend it enough. If you happen to go to Adelaide, you need to go to Enzo's and experience it. It is a phenomenally good business. Really, really good food, really, really good service, wonderful people. And we're going to feature a couple of sponsors every week now, instead of all of the people that contribute to us as an organisation. Tonight, it's Skippy and Enzo's. And we will work on that as we go along and add more sponsors. I do need to tell you that this is our opinion. What you see us do now is our opinion. We do not represent the company. We do not make decisions for the company. We take what the company gives us and we turn it into a tool that we can make money with. Miss Roger Yates is saying he had lunch with Graham and Brad today. They may have been at Enzo's. I'm not sure. So what we're here to talk about tonight, and in among all the technology and everything that's happening in the world, you need to understand this really basic thing. Gold is a 5,000-year-old medium of exchange. 5,000 years old. Now, it was interesting, a few weeks ago I discovered a report from America where the commentator was laughing about a US government statement where they had opted out of one of the trading platforms, one of the regulatory situations they had about the gold business. The statement from the government was, we've decided that the gold business has matured. It's a mature market. And this particular commentator was absolutely laughing. And he said, it's a 5,000-year-old business. What they think they're going to do, they've put some other rules on it. It is a 5,000-year-old business. So that coin you see on the screen was dug up and they've dated it now at 541 BC. Now that coin buys today the same amount of produce that it bought in 541 BC. Is there anything else in the world that can do that? That is an amazing outcome. And Roger says he had lunch with Graham and Brad today at the Ramsgate Henley Beach. Well, that's a nice place there. Very nice. Okay, let's get into this presentation. Karatbars International is a gold business. They are headquartered in Stuttgart in Germany. And they've been around since 2011. They're expanded into 120, I think the number now is 140 countries. It's an online business, so they can operate in lots of different places. The regulations around it, where they're limited, are determined by the ability to ship gold into that country. Now, Val Elsom is saying, does she have sound? Okay, good. The one thing that you need to understand about this business is it is a gold business. So they have offices all around the world. They have a fairly major operation in Singapore. So I'm looking forward to going to Singapore to see if they'll let me touch the gold bars they have in storage. Because once the gold bars are there in Singapore, we know we've got access to our own gold. So let's go and make sure that we have all of our gold in the right places for the next year. This is our founder, Mr. Harold Sykes. He is the gentleman who had this idea some time ago. He went to the German government. He was a consultant to the German government and said to them before the financial crash in 2008, you need to go back to the gold standard. They didn't like that idea, so he was asked to get on his bike and go home. I suspect it wasn't that light. So he went home and decided, well, if you don't want to do it, I will. That's how we have karatbars. And the mission is to bring pure gold to all the people in the world to get them out of the debt crisis that we're in today. Now, if you think that you have money in your pocket, actually that's a piece of paper linked to a debt. Everything we do today in our monetary system is debt-based. So why do we want to get gold into the control of the ordinary people. It's been used for thousands of years as a payment system. It was jewelry, it was a sign of power and wealth. It's been used for thousands of years. That's why we want gold. Now, in 1971, Richard Nixon cancelled, temporarily suspended the gold standard. Lyndall has just asked, did I say the gold we have is held in Singapore? That's one of the vaults, Lyndall, so you can go and extract gold in Singapore if you want. If you have it in your system, that's where you can go and pick it up. In 1971, Richard Nixon said, I temporarily suspend the gold standard. Now, what year did we just go into? 2020. So that's been a 50-year run. There is no gold standard. Now, why is that a bad idea? Gold is becoming more valuable and currencies are losing their buying power. Here's an example. In 1920, a kilo of gold bought you a top-of-the-line Ford. And if you're curious and wondering why they all had to be black, Henry Ford had his factories producing one vehicle every 19 minutes. That's how long it took to build a car. So the reason they had to be black was that was the fastest drying color. So if you had a kilo of gold in 1920 and you pulled it out of your pocket in 2019, it would still buy you a top-of-the-line Ford SUV, and you'd have change. So gold has maintained its buying power, unlike this stuff. I used to carry this around, and in fact now I have more of it in my wallet than I've ever had in my life because of this business. I get the ability to go to an ATM and withdraw cash, and I can go to a restaurant and pay for my meal. I pay with cash, or I use my MasterCard. That's what our money looks like. It's not linked to gold. Nowhere on there does it say exchangeable for gold. It's a promissory note. And this is what happens to the purchasing power of that note. Now, whilst those shopping carts are a little bit exaggerated, that exactly happens. It is a government decreed standard. They would like 2 to 3% inflation every year. Now, if you do 2 to 3% inflation over those years, that's a cumulative effect of 54.28%. We'll talk more about that later. But I can guarantee you that your $20 bill is losing its purchasing power. So if you're putting it in the bank, hoping that in 10 years' time or 20 years' time, the 1% interest they're paying you will make you some money, you are not even keeping pace. You will lose money. And while you're doing that, and while you've got that money in the bank, you will be exposed to the opt-in legislation that the government enacted a couple of years ago. So whatever bank you're in, they have the ability to seize your money and give you shares in the bank anytime they like. And there's nothing you can do about it. How bad is that? Well, let's carry on. These two folks both recommend that you own money. You own money which is called gold. Because if you have gold, you always have money. Alan Greenspan, the former CEO of the Fed, he was in charge of the Fed when I lived in America. And Robert Kiyosaki, I listened to him just a few days ago talk about when he was in his teens buying gold and silver, because precious metal always holds its value. This is what cash gold looks like. This is a karatbars idea. Let's embed gold into the note or on a card. What a great idea. So let's look at technology that's going to link this to our payment system. In 2008, Bitcoin was born. But the trick was not that it was an electronic currency. The trick was that it was embedded onto a blockchain. Now, blockchain is going to be the technology that changes everything that you do. Now, let's look at the technology universe that we have access to through karatbars. First thing, Karat Pay. I can pay bills with my phone using my gold. I don't need to have fold up plastic money. I can pay with my gold using Karat Pay. Now, Karat Pay is being moved on to blockchain. Karat Gold is responsible for the creation of cash gold, and that's based in Singapore. Now, have a guess how they're going to use cash gold to pay for things. You're right. You're going to go on the blockchain. CaratNet is the name of the proprietary blockchain this business owns. Now, in the last few weeks, you would have been offered the opportunity to transfer coins into equity in the holding company that owns all this. And if you said yes and got some equity, well done, because that blockchain is going to change everything that we do in a big way. The K-Merchant program, another way that they use the blockchain. Everywhere that this blockchain is used, it's going to create fees, and the fees go to us, members. The WIM laptops, it's technology. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the technology tonight other than to say, guess what? The WIM laptop uses the blockchain, and so does the K1 phone. They're private and secure, no viruses, no snooping, no hacking, no cracking. They're private. The cash exchange machines will communicate with headquarters using the blockchain. Our own exchange where we can trade and we can buy ABC today at, I think the last time I checked, they're about 0.7 of a cent. And you can convert those coins into gold. Now, guess what we're talking about? We're talking about using the blockchain. Everything we do in this business sits on top of this new blockchain. Now, why that's unique is that it's designed to be a transactional system. The issue with the blockchain that Bitcoin was built on, yes, it's a single point of reference. So there's a payment layer built in with the settlement. All happens at once. However, it's really slow. This is not slow. It works like a credit card system, but it's on a blockchain. We'll know more about exactly how that works in the coming weeks. But everything we do in this business is built around that blockchain. The Karat Pay system going on the blockchain. The CaratNet is the blockchain. It's the name of the blockchain. It's been live since the 15th of September 2019, so they've been testing, playing, all that stuff. It's working. Works really well. It's built into the phones, the laptops, everything. In fact, they've got $1 million prize out on the internet. If you can crack this encryption system, I'll pay you $1 million. Nobody's done it yet. The K-Merchant system is built on the blockchain. So merchant partners, for example, can choose to accept cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and have the money deposited into their bank account. Now, that's all done on the blockchain. It's the only secure way to do it, because K-Merchant terminal has to take in Bitcoin go out to the market, find a good price, sell the Bitcoin, take the money and put it into your bank account. That has to be secure. And the only way to do that is with this blockchain technology. So the merchant can select in the dashboard what currency they want to be paid in when they say cash. Minimum withdrawal is $500 equivalent, or wait 7 days and it'll do it automatically. But again, it's built on the blockchain. Impulse K1 phone, Karat K Merchant, CEMs, Karat Pay. I'm not going to go into how they all work. I just need you to understand its technology. There's more technology coming. We have managed to get ourselves situated where we have ownership of a piece of the technology that all of this technology runs on, the blockchain. It is the platform where we can buy and sell our own cryptocurrency, our own gold. I have gold in Karatbit in my wallet. I have ABC. I have Bitcoin in there. I'm about to swap Bitcoin into KBC because of the market price, because I'm going to swap a bunch of my KBC into gold. That's what I joined this business for. So that's where we get a massive uplift in the value of our wallet. KBC is the coin. We had another coin up until a week or so ago. It is all now merged onto the one blockchain as one coin. It's a great way to keep track of everything that you do. Now, we've talked a lot about the blockchain. Let's look at the original business. This is a business based in gold. It's great to hear Camilla say on Sunday that she now has assets. She has gold. She has cryptocurrency. She has assets that she's acquired in this business, in her wallet. And having a pocket full of gold is a mind-changing situation. When you've got gold, you have money. This is what happens when a currency is disconnected from the gold standard. Lots of people will want to argue about this, but I can tell you that that's a real graph. You can look it up on the internet. Every currency in the world has disconnected from gold, and they all are right now, except cash gold. Those currencies have devalued stupidly when you look at that graph. And I don't know why governments think it's a good idea. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists about why they do it. But there you see the difference. And if you're a saver, you're even worse off, because the money you save is losing value. Also, that graph came from a Google search. More money that a government prints, the less your money will buy. It's really simple economics. This is the confronting one about the shopping carts. $100 in 1970. You extrapolate that out to 2019, you will see that you need nearly $700 to buy the same amount of product. How bad is that? And we've seen that. We've lived through that. That's what's happening to your money. That's why I choose gold now. I've always been interested in gold, but didn't ever have access to something like karatbars where I could build a wealth portfolio. It's the only business I've ever seen in the world that will give you free gold. They've just released a new program that gives you free gold. So the advantages are You can start saving physical gold in small increments. You don't need a lot of money to start this business. I started with 150 euros and I had to really scratch around to find that. Karatbars puts you in a position where you can build a business from home. Camilla did that. That's what she talked about on Sunday. She's built a big business from home. There are lots of tax advantages in having a home-based business, and gold is a phenomenal insurance in unstable economic times. Now, if you don't think we're in unstable economic times, you need to stop sniffing that glue, because every commentator in the world is talking about another economic meltdown. And if we go through that again, the people that I listen to regularly are all saying 2008 financial crisis will be like a lunch at kindergarten compared to what we're staring down the barrel of today. Now, here's a really interesting quote I found while I was putting together the slides for tonight. Everything has its limit. Iron ore cannot be educated into gold. Isn't that interesting? We find people regularly that want to argue about whether gold is a good or a bad thing. I don't think you can actually argue that. Gold has maintained its purchasing power across the thousands of years that it's been around. So we're here because it's the gold business. We're not here because it's the blockchain business. It is possibly the best blockchain business in the world. The core of this business is gold. We don't have to wait to see if what we've got is worth anything. It's gold. I've had the gold shipped, came by FedEx. How do you argue with that? It's gold. You can buy KBC today, less than a cent, and in a few days I'll be able to, suspended while the upgrades are all happening, I'll be able to swap it into gold and cash it out as gold. That's why we're in this business. So for new members right now, here's a roadmap. You need to register at least. Just get them in, register. Complete the KYC. Because this is a gold business, every spotlight in the world is on us. You need to make sure all your documentation is in place. You can buy some cash gold. Get ready to buy a pack. Set up auto exchange, 1 gram of gold per month. We can do like Brent does and do 5 grams per month. Check out the multi-pack that suits your budget and what your goals are. Now, you may need to sit down with your recommender or your leader in whatever team you're in and work out what multi-pack should you buy. Now, you can do it for as little as 75 euros, but that is a monthly spend. There are simple one-off purchases. Multi-packs add an additional 2 income streams. So it will mine gold for you through the network, and it will give you e-points, which are spendable and have a value. So you can start at 75 euros per month. That's a euro per month deal. Or you can do a 150 euro one-time purchase, get your bonds level in the dual team. You can go higher than that. You can go all the way to 7,500 euros in a multi-pack. It's an optional way. This is optional. But if you're going to buy a business pack, you'll pay the freight. The multi-packs add an additional 2 incomes. That's the cash gold, free, and e-points, also free. And you can spend them. The minute you have them, they are spendable. You've just got to have enough of them to buy whatever it is that you want. So once you have the e-points, they sit in your wallet, and you need to make sure that you understand what the benefits are of each of the multi-packs. So get with your recommender, one of the leaders in your team that actually knows what they're talking about, and be careful about this. Do not listen to 99% of what's on the internet. I've seen all sorts of webinars published through Facebook, and they had absolutely no idea what they were talking about. Read the document yourself, sit down with someone who's active, and find out what you need to do, what's the best pack for you to purchase. Now, in addition, you can set up a gold miner. 75 KBC per week to set it up. If you don't want to buy a pack, you don't have to. It's optional. If you already have a status like bronze, silver, gold, VIP, you don't have to buy a pack. This is an additional level of income that you can create. So for 75 KBC per week, mines network. So for each multi-pack 3, it gives you 0.1 of a gram down 7 levels. 4, 5, 6, and up to pack 7, you get 0.3 grams of cash gold. Now, why do we think that's a good idea? Well, at the moment, for less than $30, you can buy enough KBC to run that miner for a year. A year. And it's going to actually mine gold for you. I've not seen another business like this where they give us the opportunity to do things like this. It's just a life-changing experience. And the gold is what this is all about. And ladies and gentlemen, don't get confused by the blockchain. Yes, it's great technology. Yes, it's going to change everything we do in the world. If you believe that the banks we're dealing with today are working in your best interest, forget it, not. If you believe that the government is going to leave your super where it is, forget it, not. They're already resuming the investments that people have put in super funds. So make sure that you get with one of the leaders in this business. Set up a Zoom call if you need to with someone in the Brains Trust. Set up a coffee. Get your head around why this gold business works. And we literally, in 6 months, have turned people from homeless to being comfortable financially in 6 months. You cannot challenge whether it works or not. It works. And are those people also going to make money in the future from the cryptocurrency and the technology turnover? You bet they are. They're not going to be just okay then, they're going to be wealthy. In the short term, they made enough money to be very, very comfortable. And that's what we need to make sure we focus on. So let's get to some events. This is coming up in June. We will have on the Gold Rocks website some further information about this. And we need to make sure that you get there. We have some amazing people already committed to coming. As Brent said, this year we will have the next wave of this technology. There is new technology being released all the time by this company, and we own a piece of that blockchain. Each and every one of us will make money from whatever happens in this ecosystem. There was nobody in our business up to Christmas who hadn't made money. Nobody. How cool is that? You need to get this conference organised. We will have ticketing available on the website in the next few days. It's been a little bit difficult with trying to piece it all together with insurance and all that sort of stuff. But we have some phenomenal speakers already committed to coming along. It'll be a 2-day event and a Saturday night. And in fact, if you're traveling and you get there on Friday, you should organise yourself to go to the lunch on Friday as well. A great, great day. And this coming Sunday, we are down the coast. 26th of January, PC Auditorium, 3 Chisholm Road, Carrara. It is behind the Coffee Club Service Centre. It's quite a nice room, great facility. The guys at the coast are pumping along at the moment. If you want further detail on where it is or what to do, contact Peter Hervenen, 0408 690 755. It's organising these functions down there. There'll be a number of us going down the coast from Brisbane. But I can tell you, you need to get to the events. When we saw what happened from the last event we had at Ettalong, you would never go past an event ever again. It changed people's lives. You need to get to the events, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Do we have any questions? Is there anybody that would like to have a comment? Brent, would you like to talk about Wave 3 or anything like that? I know that you bought a pack today, a multi-pack.
Yes, mate. Yeah, I sure did. And I think we recorded that, aren't we? We're going to do something on maybe next week's Zoom just to show people how I purchased that. Yeah, Wave 3, I think we've all come back from a break and obviously the frenzy of the last 6 to 8 months of the coin and focusing on those packs, and now it's a completely different ball game. Sure, you still can get coin, and it's very, it's a great price at the minute, so it's probably a good thing. But in the next few weeks, we're going to see the rollout of some of these products and services. We already have this multi-pack, and I think that in itself, like you said, if anyone that's getting in now to purchase one of these packs, they get the business status. They don't have to pay the extra freight to get, whatever that will be, and they get an extra additional some E-points and some cash gold. So that, there's a way there we can create an absolute bundle of free gold like we could with the coin before. So very exciting. The bank, we'll probably hear about that this week, I think, Derek, the gold standard bank and what that will be. There's also another incentive coming out, including these points. So don't think that these are just another flybys. These E-points will be, we did something yesterday. What'd you work them out to be, mate? They were 25 cents or $2.50.
Quarter of a euro each.
Quarter of a euro, okay. And that's at the minute if you were just using a K1 phone as a purchasing price. So no, mate, I'm very excited about this year. What we saw in the last 6 months. I'm still getting over yesterday and Camilla's story. There must be so many more people out there like that. And I won't give it away too much. Let's get her on and interview her again, because what a story. What a motivation. And she could have sat back and just made excuses, but something changed in that girl, and wow, wasn't it incredible? From what you say, being evicted or not having an eviction notice or something, so now and I spoke about that. It's that this has given us all some money, some more than others, sure, and some incredible money already. And to me, it's not just about freedom and from your job, but also the fact that a few $100 extra a week or a month can just take the stress away from the bills. Or we're on a plant-based diet now, and that includes a lot of organic food, and that stuff's expensive, I tell you. So no, mate, in the next few weeks we're going to see also the rollout of the new K merchant program, which has changed its name, and I'm really excited about that, and actually seeing all the cash gold and the coin and everything sort of come together in this what we call an ecosystem. So no, I just wanted to say that what you guys do there every Monday is incredible. You know, we might mix it up a bit this year, and a few other of us do some of the presentations once we're sort of
Absolutely.
clear on the role and the way that we should market it. Because you and I talk all the time, and all we want to know is what's best for the team. You know, and when we work that out, we'll let you know, because we can't make a razoo unless you guys are happy and making money as well. So stay focused. Yeah, get on these every Monday night. I see a heap of chat for questions there. Is there anything in there, or is it just hellos, mate? Now I'll just hand this back over to you. But
Okay.
really excited about this year. Can't wait to put something together on this webinar each Monday, and sort of some basic steps. There's more meetings popping up all the time. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube. I think we had a record amount of Gold Rocks people check the recording out last week, wasn't it, mate? I mean, it was
It's phenomenal.
things are happening. So and we have a solution to what's coming this year in the financial. I don't want to talk doom and gloom, but there's some tough times coming, and to hear what Camilla said the other day and what we have and what we can do for people, really exciting, mate.
Yeah.
So thank you again for what you do every Monday, and let's hope we can have thousands on here by the end of the year. I really believe we will.
Yep. Well, thanks, Brent.
Everybody.
As Kate said, apparently Harold is doing an announcement in the next day or so, and we're assuming that that's to do with the bank and extracting gold, etc. That's what we're all hanging out for. How do we cash out our gold the simplest, fastest, most profitable manner? And yes, Dan, we'll be able to pay for a new chook pen. And in fact, you'll probably be able to fly Mr. Seravalli up from Adelaide to do it. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on the golden beaches of the world as we wander about the world, bragging about how much gold we have. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.